that it takes time for my relationship with that person to nurture over time. Are we sharing the same values? Are we speaking the same language? And once that's in, like, and I see this person, then I want to learn from this person because information is the worth of information is pretty much zero because it's readily available and AI can just bring up just like that. So what am I paying for? I'm paying to be in close proximity with this person. I'm paying to be seen and heard by this person, to be with this energy, to be with his or her experience. And like you said, like AI can't co-regulate me. I can't lend its nervous system to me. So really what I'm paying for is to be human with this person, right? To be in that community. So when I think about that, it's like, man, it's priceless. It's worth it. And when I can be given the opportunity to choose a price that resonates with where I'm at, with my financial situation, then man, like it allows it allows me to take part in this system, take part in this relational dynamic. Because yeah, some people have more money than others, but that can be balanced out, right? When that can be thought in that way. So I'm not too familiar with sacred economics, but it may seem like perhaps this is an idea that pertains to that, a new way of being in a relationship with each other and still like transact with money, right? Because money is still part of our system. Yeah.
Hmm. I mean, another part of that, especially in the relational wisdom school and the programs, the Empowered Empath Academy, is the idea of that as people grow in wisdom and skill, they bring more value. So then they pay financially less because of that. And I think our culture is so transactional that it's like, okay, here I am, I'm selling you something. And it's very rarely, okay, what do you have in return? There's the idea of barter. We used to barter one thing for another thing. And at retreats, usually, for example, there's one teacher and everybody listens to that guru or that teacher. There's not been a lot of collaboration often. Maybe there are two or three teachers, but what if you go to a retreat and include everybody in the curating of that? And we're going to be part of what's called Remembering of the Village in August 15th to 17th, that I think is coming into that kind of co-creation, curating pieces of it, going back to the idea of like African villages. People made food, people showed up, they ate. There was never any lack in that. And if one person didn't have food one day, they still ate. You didn't say, oh, sorry, you don't have any money, you can't be a part of this. No, people took care of them because they knew it would come around again later. Um, so often people are like, hey, this is what I'm selling. But they don't think about the other side of that is how could this person, as they're becoming part of this community, ever actually enhance the community? How can their being here add more value? People don't go that extra step to think about that. What is it this person knows that can inform me to make what I'm offering even more valuable? People don't tend to look at that. They don't tend to take the time to learn the other person. It's just, if you ever look at business sales scripts, it's like, okay, and this, and how do you handle their objections? Well, you know what? There are no objections when people can come in and say, "Oh, I also have this of value," and you are allowing them to give as well. People want to give. They want to be seen and they want to be heard. Um, and I know from experience from this year's retreat of the Soul Truth Academy and the Empowered Empath Academies is that the women that came to collaborate and give their gifts, they wanted to. And because the other women knew them, so there's trust built over time, the participation and taking in what they had to offer, there was ecstatic dance and there was massage and there was so much more value there than we could have possibly arranged through money. And there's something very different also about, again, we have caterers and curators of food, and people go down and they sit in front of food and now they consume it. There's something very different that used to be where people after a hunt came with food and brought what they found, whether it was the berries or the wild meat, and everyone brought what they had to share. The extra energy and the relationship, both to what they were cooking and also to the people that they're delivering it to, is so much different than catered food. Oh, you don't like peppers? Let me take that out for you. There's this essence of love, of reciprocity that goes into things. And of course, this also means that communities are smaller. You can't know 10,000 people. How many followers do people need? Do people need to take over the world? Or can we operate? And I remember what book it's in, but they say about 150 people in your proximity, like tribes, 150 people is about where people feel they're actually in relationship to other people, where they know them versus, oh, this is transactional. I'm just going to sell to 10,000 people, even though I don't really know who they are. So the other question becomes like, how much do we think we need? Do we need to leave a legacy of $2 million on planet Earth when 100 years from now it's only going to be worth $2,000? Like, the value we leave monetarily here does not equate to the same value 100 years from now. But the legacy of community and evolution and the changing of generational violence or patterns, now there's a valuable legacy to leave that's relational. So I don't know what the answer to the whole question is of what's the difference between transactional and relational, and it interweaves, but like you said, it is in dedication to something greater than myself and getting something monetarily once. I know that for sure. Curious where you're at now. It looks like you're glazing over, or you're that, or you're is still, and you're frozen.
Yeah, I'm having some internet issues. The voice and visuals
All
don't line
landing
up
for
for me
you.
right now, so it's hard for me to track. But yeah, can you hear me now? No?
Oh,
All right, yeah, acknowledging some technical difficulties at the moment. It
no.
happens, yeah.
Mm-mm.
Can you hear me
Got
now?
that.
Yeah? Yeah, yeah, so when you mentioned that book there, I believe the book is called
Yep.
Ubuntu, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, with the communities is 250. Yeah. Yeah, so, tying it back, transactional to relational, I like just the name, the paradigm of unsustainable growth and and consumption and greed, which leads to economies of scale, which leads to why there's sales scripts, right? It's to
Mm-hmm.
maximize income, is to create systems to maximize exchange and transactions. It's business, it's capitalism, right? And that's a whole
Mm-hmm.
separate topic. Though I love how you kind of came back to like, how much do I really need? And am I good with what I have? And therefore I'm abundant, right? Someone living in the Caribbean in a shack can be fully abundant and feel good without needing anything more, right? When that person's being fulfilled in many different ways, such as good health, good people, good relating, right? Um, and so, what are we slaving ourselves for? What are we working ourselves for? Like, where my worth is attached to my work? Am I keep moving the goalposts, so to speak? So, yeah, I just want to name that paradigm is first recognizing that I am in a cultural paradigm that is steeped in survival, steeped in consumption, and first to recognize that. And then the question is, do I want to continue down that route? And it really is the path from transactional to relational is freedom. It boils down to freedom. Do I want to free myself from the rat race? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate you linking that to the actual term unsustainable growth. You know what that reminds me of? Cancer. Just keeps growing. Um, things aren't meant to do that. We are meant to find a place that we belong, um, and to deepen it, not widen it and get bigger, but to deepen our relationships, not have more of them, is what I'm thinking. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Even in BNI is like, do I want a network that's a mile wide and an inch deep, right? And that is a reflection of transactional relationships. I'm networking. The whole reason I'm networking is to create business, but then there's a lack of depth because I'm looking to see who here can help me make money. If I'm talking to someone that's like not in the same power team, in the same like sphere of like we work well together because we're in the same industry, so to speak, like a electrician and a carpenter or a home inspector and a realtor, right? It's like, no, I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to get to know you. So right away, like I'm judging the relationship based on a
Mm-hmm.
transaction. I just want to get to know you if it furthers my
Mm.
interest. Hmm, interesting. Versus I want to get to know you
Mm-hmm.
as a human being. Like I want to get connected to your soul. Let's chat about that. Yeah.
Well, that does also go back to the unsustainable growth. There's only so many people that we can actually say, "Hey, I want to get to know you as a human being." There's only so many, and if it wasn't in Ubuntu, 150 people,